jesi ti nosila ovu oceninu odavno, od uvijek?
Jesam, Boga mi izgubila rod vas.
A sjećaš se otkad?
Ima više 60 godina. Ima 70 godina od kao nosi.
Stalno ovo?
Jesam, Boga. Strijeljala mi švaba, brata i oca, strica i ujaka, sve u jednu krv. Eto, od tada je...
Nijesi ni skidala?
Ne mogu. Ne mogu.
Today, most Israelis accept the fact that the occupation must come to an end, and yet they can't stand us. We are still considered the black sheep. I can't perfectly explain that. When I talk to people and try to get out from them what it is about women in black that pushes their buttons, it's not the politics, but it's something about being in solidarity with the enemy in their minds. Transfers the euphemism for getting rid of the Arabs, getting them out of here, expelling them, putting them on trucks and carting them out of the country. So they've got now 3 signs I see posted across the street. It's not signs, big banners. So this woman in black came over to me and said I should tell the cops to tell them to take it down. In previous weeks they have told them to take it down, but I can't remember the cops ever going along with that kind of request by us. So maybe I'll try it and see. We've been standing here for 14 and a half years, every single Friday. The counter demonstrators switch periodically. They can last a few weeks, a few months, some of them have even lasted a few years, but ultimately they tire and go away. We haven't tired for 14 and a half years. In Israel, we've universally been dismissed or marginalized by other Israelis.
Don't you know how stupid you look? You look very clever. Yeah, I do. I am very clever. You don't have Arab writing on.
We are not anchored in our communities. We are isolated from our communities. And because we are expressing solidarity with Palestinian women, we represent death, mourning. We represent what's repulsive, what you want to get rid of out of your life. And there we are every week saying, if you don't stop what you're doing, we are going to be mourning you too. So they don't want to hear that.
Kind of the chickens coming home to roost. If you don't change this, you're gonna be the victim, just like they're the victim now. Is that kind of what you're saying, or not? That particularly would grate them. That's not me. I'm not a victim anymore. I, remember the Holocaust. We're okay now.
Some of that is because you will be the next victim, and they don't want to hear it. And some of it is because they think we love the Palestinians more than we love the Jews. That's what it boils down to. They call us Jewish anti-Semites. Even though all we say is end the occupation.
I'm demonstrating and I'm exposing myself and my opinions and my children and my family to the nastiest, worst things you could ever hear from Jewish people. They would kill me, they would shoot me, they would kill my children and everything.
The problem is that the young people here don't know what happened after the Second World War.
Oh, they do.
No, they don't. No. Oh, she thinks I'm fighting with you?
Yeah.
Okay, we are Jewish. We're Jewish.
Cambia el sentir un amante Cambia el rumbo el caminante, aunque esto le cause daño. Y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño. Cambia, todo cambia.
Women in Black in Colombia began in the early 1990s, joining women from all over the world who protest violence, militarism, and war. In 2005, the Women's Caravan traveled to the department of Chocó, located in a region mostly inhabited by Afro-Colombians and indigenous peoples.
El 60% del presupuesto nacional va dirigido a la guerra.
De nuestras consignas de la ruta pacífica, que las mujeres tengan el espacio de la justicia frente a la ley de impunidad.
Esforcémonos un poco más, aprendamos a vivir en paz. Mi presente más bonito y regalo para un hijo que dejarle esta tierra toda en paz. Y esforcémonos un poco más, aprendamos a vivir en paz. Esforcémonos un poco más.
De momento voy para la cumbre. O sea, yo trabajo en todo.
At this moment, I'm going to La Cumbre. I work in all the neighborhoods and the whole metropolitan area. Wherever they call me, I do house visits. I've been working for 3 years doing manicure and pedicure.
Pedicure y manicure. Rapidito. Mi historia de vida es.
My life history is a little sad. I was raped when I was 14 years old.
De esa violación quedó mi hijo.
My son was a product of that rape.
Pues me frustró muchas cosas que.
This frustrated many things that, not my son, but in part what happened.
En parte fue los hechos que pasaron. ¿Sí?
It frustrated my life, what I was thinking that I was going to do.
Me vine a vivir aquí después de que comencé a vivir acá.
I came to live here, and when I started living here, I met Women and Future. And then I joined Women in Black and Ruta Pacífica.
Yo soy la líder de mi manzana.
I stood with Women in Black in Bellevue for about a year. They stood against the invasion of Iraq. And then when I found out about the Women in Black who stand for homeless people who've died outside alone or through violence. So I've done that for about a year. The importance of Women in Black to all of this is that it brings awareness to the public of how many homeless people do die. And so, you know, sometimes that's an alarming rate. Sometimes we stand for a half a dozen or more people at a time.
So when you stand in silence, it's emotional for you, tell me how it feels to you.
Well, it can be very emotional. There have been a lot of circumstances that were really sad. And so when I stand there, I think about the people and how they've died.
Standing in the Women in Black vigils has been a profound experience for me. When do we take time to stand for an hour in silence? For me, simply taking the time, standing there with my sisters, gives me a sense of connection with those who have died, even if I didn't know the person firsthand. There's an important resonance to women making this witness.